Welcome to 𝗳𝗂𝗶𝗹𝗶. If this is your vibe, hit like and subscribe. Hello YouTube friends, and welcome back to my channel. I am 𝗳𝗂𝗶𝗹𝗃, and today we're going to do a quick get ready with me as I am getting ready to go to brunch. And I need to get ready, but I also want to make a YouTube because I am 2 weeks behind on my YouTube. Y'all, I was really proud of myself. I did that Beyond Yoga video. And as I did that Beyond Yoga video, I recorded 2 videos after that of like Q&A about my podcast. But I was editing those videos and I was so bored editing them that I was like, if I'm this bored editing, people are going to be really bored watching it. Therefore, I decided to do a quick get ready with me as I answer questions about the podcast and make it short, sweet, and to the point, because you know how I like to do. Using on my face is a 𝗀𝗃𝗍𝗃 face wipes. I use the one that removes makeup. It's the rose water one. So I use these little wipes every single day, and that's all I use on my face. Every once in a while I'll use Dove on my face too, but for the most part it's just the 𝗀𝗃𝗍𝗃. I also use these. If you don't know, I used to be an optician, so I'm a little obsessed with eye care. I use the AccuSoft lid scrubs, and this is actually really good to get eye makeup off of, but also just to clear any dust mites and any like eye allergy stuff. I have eye allergies, so I use these every day too. And so all you do is just swipe from side to side, and voila. So as I mentioned, this is about the podcast. If you don't know, I created a podcast called the Wellthy Moves Podcast. It is a place for wellpreneurs to unite. It has tips, tricks, and mindset shifts to help you thrive on your journey. And we really get into it on the pod. Sorry, I have contacts in. I totally messed up my contact. We really get into it on the pod. We do deep dives into subjects about creating different incomes of revenue. We talk about mindset things. I'm going to tell you the 3 top listens, the 3 incomes of revenue episodes, the top listen. It's got like over 100 listens to it. Then the next one is the Lucky Girl Syndrome or Lucky Girl Affirmations one. That's the next one. And then the 3rd one with the top listens is what to do with the algorithms in retrograde, I think. I think that's it. They're pretty close, all of the episodes. After that 3 incomes of revenue, that one like skyrocketed. But highly recommend listening to the podcast because there's something for everyone. And I just hit 10 episodes on the podcast. Number 11 drops this Tuesday, and that's about your vibrational drip, honoring your vibrational frequency. So I started the podcast at the beginning of this year. I'm definitely going to keep it going for at least this full year, and then we'll see. We'll analyze in 6 months if I want to really keep it going, if it's really making an impact, but it seems to be doing really well. It also coordinates with my Instagram. So if you're ever on my Instagram, like whatever a carousel post I'm talking about, I usually drop like, hey, this is in the pod too, so you can do a deeper dive. So it all coordinates together. Okay, next I'm using my beauty counter. Actually, before we do that, I'm gonna put on my Beauty Counter toner. I love Beauty Counter, y'all. I'm all about this clean beauty. Merit Beauty, which I'll be using for my eyebrows, you'll see. I also just ordered their like complexion sticks, so stay tuned because I'll definitely be making a YouTube about that. Ilia Beauty, another clean beauty brand. Beauty Counter. I will link these down below. These aren't even affiliate links. These is just because I love these products and I actually use them every single day. So I'm gonna put on the toner. Now some people say you should put on your toner at night. I'm not a big, makeup beauty girl. That's why I'm all into the clean beauty stuff, but I put on my toner just when I remember, which for me is usually in the mornings because I'm a morning person. So I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna make this a little brighter. My little light on top of here died. I didn't charge it, my bad. But we have pretty good light in the vanity area. At least I do, looking this way. You might not have as good of light looking this way, so. Okay. So I've put on the toner, and then I follow up with the All Bright C Serum, which is my go-to for everything. If you have hyperpigmentation, this is the vibe. I love this stuff. I wear it every single day. I put it on in the morning and in the evening. And I will say, clean beauty products are slightly expensive. Now, I know Ordinary brand is like a clean beauty, but I've never used it. My sister uses it and she says it's really good. But these are the products that I've found that have worked really well for me. And I just make sure to save my coins and bring in those incomes of revenue so that I can continue to buy them. So I just do want to call that out, that sometimes it can get a little expensive. Like I think this is $90, but if you subscribe, it lowers it. And then same thing, this is like $60, but if you subscribe, it lowers it. And this actually comes in a full size. This is actually the travel size. You see I broke it. That's what happens when you travel. The podcast is for wellpreneurs. The 3 top episodes, again, the incomes of revenue episode, the lucky girl episode, when the algorithms in retrograde episode. I also think why I deleted 200 plus followers episode is like right up in there. So check out those to kind of get the vibe of the podcast and then continue to listen if you feel like it's, helpful to you, which if you're following me on YouTube, it's probably going to be helpful to you. Okay, so next we're going to put on my 𝗀𝗺𝗃 skin tint. I love this skin tint. It's also a serum. It's got squalene in it. You've seen me do a video before about it. I don't know how to even pronounce that first word, but hyaluronic acid's in it. Niacinamide. I don't know. I think I did mispronounce that in the first time I did a Get Ready With Me video too. Oh well. Anyway, a little trick of the trade. I put just a little squirt of my vitamin C serum in my hand. I mean, the smallest squirt. Then I put a squirt of this in my hand. And they say put just like a size of like a dime or a quarter or something. I just put a couple drops because when you have that vitamin C serum, it's gonna like make this more. It's like when you add water to like soap, when you're running out of soap, same thing. Gotta turn this way, y'all. So anyway, podcast has been doing well. Absolutely love the podcast. Another question I get about the podcast is who produces the podcast? Do I have like a team? No, I do not have a team. I do the podcast myself. It gets dropped every Tuesday, usually before 2 p.m. on Tuesdays. There's been only one occasion that it got released in the afternoon, and that's because I was traveling that day and I just couldn't get it uploaded in time. My apologies for that, but I'm very consistent on the podcast. I am there every single Tuesday, and I love it. I record it. Sometimes if you watch it on Spotify, there's a video version, but if you listen to it on Apple, there's not a video version, but you still get the same benefit. The video version's fun because sometimes I bring in slides and stuff like that. It's almost kind of like watching a YouTube. But sometimes you're listening to it in your car. You can't watch the video version, so, you gotta do what you gotta do. The next question I get about the podcast is, does it have ads on it? It does not have ads yet. I know you can make money from your podcast by having ads on it. I actually disqualified from the amount of listens that I had to have ads on the podcast, but I haven't decided to add ads just yet. I really want to make it about people getting this information and me helping out the wellpreneur community and the yoga community and, the wellness tribe first, and then maybe I'll start to add ads to it. And sorry if it's loud. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but we have like a whole crew of millennial men in the living room drinking coffee right now. And I can hear them, and I feel like it's distracting me on the pod as I make this YouTube, but you may not be able to hear them. Fingers crossed. There's also a lot of yacht rock going on in there. Fingers crossed you can't hear that either, because I'm not trying to get this as a copyright video. Okay, next I'm putting on my 𝗀𝗺𝗃 concealer, and I just put this on a little bit under my eyes. I put like 3 dots up there under my eyes. You notice I don't have like a blending brush or anything. I just use my hands. That's always just worked really well for me. Also, I'm not wearing my hair like this today, but we're not doing a get ready hair video. Like, this is just a quick little get ready with me so I can go to brunch. So as I put this little concealer on, let's continue to talk about le podcast. But yes, I produce the podcast myself. It's very easy. Actually, let me take that back. It's easy for me to produce this podcast on my own. I know that it may not be as easy for some. I am very computer savvy. I love electronics. I've got my Rode mic. All you really need is a good mic. You need to have some computer knowledge, get familiar with the program that you're recording the podcast with, be really good at editing things. I don't have to edit the podcast very much for myself. I can usually get things done in one take, which is truly like, this is like my divine download area. Like that's where I shine, is like content creation, podcast, talking on the spot. So I don't usually do more than one take. And if I do, it's probably because I'm like in a low vibrational state, like I'm tired, my body needs to rest kind of thing. But I do it all myself. I do everything myself. I just sit down and find a quiet spot. I have notes, of course, and even like when I do the recording, if you listen to it on Spotify, sometimes you see me with my computer up, sometimes I have my notes out. I just go over my notes and I have a conversation, like how I'm having a conversation here. Okay, so we got that on. I feel like the camera keeps fluctuating light, so sorry. Like right now, it just went to dark because I made it go a little darker. Is that good? I don't know, y'all. I'm sorry. This video is gonna be fun. This is real life. I like to keep it real. You know how I do. Okay. So I put on the skin tint. Make sure to close your skin tint after. This is expensive. You do not, actually this is like $40, but you do not want to have that open in your bag. You're screwed. Okay. And if you know me, I don't wear a lot of makeup. So I put the skin tint on. I put a little concealer on. And then I put on some MAC eyeshadow because yes, girl, it's still 2005, okay? I'm just kidding, but I love MAC eyeshadow. And I've tried other eyeshadows and they're just not as good as MAC. Actually, before we put on the MAC eyeshadow, I'm gonna do my eyebrows. This is from 𝗀𝗃. I did a whole video about 𝗀𝗃, and I'm gonna do another one because I just ordered, like I said, that complexion stick. I'm gonna look this way to do my eyebrows. I have the thickest eyebrows in the world. And I may have mentioned this in my last video, but when my nieces were born, they came out with super thick eyebrows too. And I'm like the only person in my family with like super thick eyebrows. My sister was like, ew, they came out with your eyebrows. And I was like, thanks. It's so funny. Okay, so let me do my eyebrows, and then we'll continue to talk about 𝗀𝗃𝗏. I feel like I should have had this more organized, but oh well. This is where we're at. I love this because I do have really wild eyebrows, and one's always a little thicker than the other. I'm sorry that I'm not looking right at the camera because I gotta look at myself, get these eyebrows right. You see how the one on the left is like VIP, and this one's like its friend trying to get in at VIP. The Grand Prix, what am I talking about? Okay, back to the podcast. But yes, I edit it myself. Everyone's been really enjoying it. Again, it coordinates with my Instagram. And I do take Q&A from the podcast. So if you are watching on Spotify or listening on Spotify, at the end of my Spotify videos, it has Q&A. And you can send in your questions about the podcast. And for a while, I was answering those live on Instagram. But Instagram and me plus live don't really vibe. Like I know like there's so many like social media managers and content like managers or coaches that say, you gotta go live, that's how you're gonna build your following. My following has grown since I deleted 200 plus people on my Instagram and cleared out bots and just kind of audited my Instagram, and also just started like changing up the vibe of my Instagram and making it really more about my community, and not feeling like I have to post, like posting just to post, like I'm posting with meaning. And I feel like I've always posted with meaning, but there were times that like I was like, oh God, I gotta post, or I'm trying to fit this trend or whatever it is. And now I don't do that. Now, I don't post a whole bunch of reels. Thank God Instagram is back to like carousel posts and pictures, because that's been my vibe the whole time. So I'm getting back into myself. And especially, this is last month was my birthday month, but this is like my year. I feel like I'm like a real adult. Like I've been feeling like that for the last couple of years, but like I'm like really stepping into like my entrepreneur power. And having the podcast was a way to also bring that out, because again, it's about my community, and that's what I really want to focus on. So I just used MAC makeup, my eyeshadow. This is Amber times 9. It's like a little 9-pack. I don't use all the colors, clearly. I just use all the like pretty glossy, goldy looking colors. And then I also use the Amber Lights eyeshadow. Amber Lights is not in this amber pack, which is really funny because you would think it would be. And I was like, wait, did I double buy or what's up with that? Anyway, moving right along. We're done. We're not only are we done with this YouTube video, but we're done talking about the podcast. So quick overview, podcast comes out every Tuesday. It's for wellpreneurs. Check out the episodes. There's 10 episodes right now. Number 11 drops this Tuesday. You've already heard me talk about the top 3. I do take Q&A. And again, if you do the Q&A, I guess I went off on a tangent on that. I used to answer them live, but now I'm just sending you a DM and answering them one-on-one. And then sometimes I make a carousel post based off your Q&A. So again, it keeps rotating the information in new ways for everybody. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for getting ready with me. All I do now is just put on a little mascara. I'm gonna do something with this hair. I am in a really cute outfit, minus the bra showing right now because of my mic, but you know. That's it. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. I'm gonna do a Merit beauty review. It gets delivered, I think, tomorrow. So you'll get a Merit beauty review, and yeah.